Thank you. Hello and welcome everyone. This is Freedom Makers week number 3 of our 8-week countdown to helping you build your team, to be a team builder, to start with your first 4 consultants and qualify to start making that awesome 10% commission during the best selling season of the year and best sponsoring season of the year. So I am really excited to be here on day 21 of August, the eclipse day. I don't know about you guys, but here in Minnesota, we had a whole lot of darkness, rain, eerie weather after a very, very hot morning. So you could just feel the whole sky changing and all the colors are beautiful outside my window here. So anyway, so I say welcome. Again, Jackie Geisler, your Sales Development Manager. Looking so forward to working together tonight. We're going to do some interaction this evening. Again, if you didn't hear earlier, please make sure you've listened to week 1 and week 2 of the Freedom Makers or Move It Up Monday. So that being said, let me just kick off a couple of screens and then we're going to pop back and forth tonight as we actually, take you through our Freedom Makers slides and interaction tonight. So be ready to share because we are going to have some fun together tonight. So I want to just kick us into gear here. Let me pull up my first slide for us all. So again, just to welcome you, this is for all of our managers, future managers, those ready to build their team and make a difference in others' lives in their own over the next 8 weeks together at Move It Up Monday. We have a goal to bring 61 new and requalified managers to the Amber region, to the United States team. Very excited about that. I have no other way. I'd rather celebrate 61 years together with all of you having the same freedoms that we have together. Just like we heard Sarah Hipple and her story over 40 years, starting out from the time she was 18, through her career, through her marriage, through her children, and now her grandchildren. So that is really what we're all here to do together. And that will be celebration time as we keep adding all of you to our leader team in the United States. So here's what we always start with. We start with a little bit of celebration. So I'll come back and ask this in just a couple of moments. But for those of you that are here as future managers, we want you to know that every time you come on these Mondays between August and September, if you came on to the 5 o'clock Pacific time opportunity call with Scott and tonight Sarah Hipple, and you had a guest with you, we're going to come back and do a little roll call. If that's you, that's live with us, or you're listening to this recording only this week of the 21st, and you respond to me, we will make you a winner of the week. If you came onto the opportunity call and you had a potential consultant listening or sitting with you or on a camera somewhere in the US, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, when you come every week, we use 3 different tools. 1 is the memory jogger, we'll show you tonight. 2 is the sponsoring lead tracker. These are just 20 people each and every week or every 2 weeks that you've introduced to Jafra in some way, shape, or form. You've invited them to be a consultant, a hostess, a client, to experience the samples, and you track them and you follow up and get a response. Whether it's yes, no, or maybe, it doesn't matter, but it's the number of people you're talking to. So, future leaders, this is the way that you will build your business now and forever, even like Sarah over 40 years. You always want to have this in front of you as you coach with your leader every week. This is also the key conversation piece you want to be talking about. The memory jogger is people you might know or people you're familiar with, but this is then the follow-up to the people you know and the people you meet every single day along your way. So we're going to do a little check-in here shortly to see if there's any Freedom Maker right now that has filled out a sheet this week. And you keep filling it out until you get a full one. And every time we have a full one, we're going to do a drawing from those who have a full sheet. Okay, so when I come back off camera or off screen, we'll open up the cameras to see if anybody has this. And if not, we do have this downloaded. The 3 tools I just talked about are downloaded on your Jafra Amber Region Consultant Team group. All of those are under your files where you can go print these tools that you're going to see me repetitively talk about. There's something about this business that keeps it simple, like Lisa Washington shared tonight. It is called repetition. You will never leave home without a contact list. You will never leave home without your cell phone and your calendar and all the tools you want to take along so you're prepared to always talk to people. So this is one of the key ones that we'll talk about. I just want to give you a little update. Next week, we do not have the 5 p.m. opportunity call with Scott. He did not have that on the calendar. So we're going to take advantage of that, by the way, and we're going to do a Paint It Purple live get ready call. Okay, so next week, the 28th, 5 p.m., if you have registered for a t-shirt package, and if you have not, again, get registered. We added more Paint It Purple packages. You should have alerts in your email, in Jafra Biz. You can see it on Facebook with us. We'll repost it again for you. But make sure you get registered with that pack with the t-shirt, some samples, and your postcard so you're ready to go when we kick off Paint It Purple Week, the week of Labor Day. But we're going to talk about it next week. We're going to get you ready for that success. You can bring your teams on. You can bring yourself on. Never want to paint it purple alone. All right? So whether you have 2, 3 people with you, even if you don't have anyone on your team right in your backyard, try to find other people, other locations you can go to. Facebook each other and say, hey, I'm going to be out painting a purple in this city. All right, we're not going to map out 700 cities. You can just Facebook and WhatsApp each other where to go. The next piece we're going to have is if you don't have someone near you, grab some friends, some cousins, some clients. Go out and have some fun. It's really just talking Jafra and painting the town purple. And it's every single day for a week straight. We have drawings. We have all sorts of fun things going on that week. But y'all want your shirts, y'all want your cards, and you want to get yourself ready. Okay, so next week at 5 o'clock will be the Paint It Purple. Then we will also, I'll do a little tidbit on fragrance because it is our fragrance training of the week. So I'm going to bring back some training I did at the Belong Tour. Believe Tour. I think it was Believe first. So I'll do a little update on some fragrance training and then how to weave fragrance samples, an inexpensive tool that you can add to your Paint It Purple for sweet success. And then from 6 to 7 next week, again, we'll have Move It Up Monday, just like tonight. But please mark your calendars. The following Monday is a holiday, so we are not going to have anything on that Monday of Labor Day. And then we'll pick right back up with skincare, color, and spa the last 3 weeks as our countdown to the 8 weeks to leadership here for Freedom Makers. Okay, so I'm done talking for just a moment. I'm going to come back to check out the sponsoring tracker. But please don't forget, I'm going to keep doing this till everybody's on it. I want to make sure you're on that Facebook group that Lori and I keep referring to, that you can see here, the Amber Region Consultant Team. Every time you sponsor someone, add them into that group. Leaders, make sure your consultants are on there. That's our main form of communication. Number 2 is the WhatsApp. If you're a Freedom Maker, I actually have a WhatsApp group for the Freedom Makers. I've emailed all of you. If I have your name and text number that you're in the Freedom Makers group, you also have been texted an app to click on and join that Freedom Makers team. And the only way that app makes it worth time is I want you all sharing. I think I saw Felicia Fields today. She shared some pictures. She was at Curves and she was doing some tabletop there. So that's a place for us to interact, cheer each other on, and share ideas. So that and Facebook only become fun when we're all sharing ideas and asking for help, etc. Okay, so let's all become team makers by using both of those communication tools. All right, so make sure you're connected. All right, let me just check out here for a second. Do I have anyone in the Freedom Makers team? You'd have to raise your hand. You'd have to type in the chat box. Is there anyone here that filled out? They got to 20 names so far by day 21 of August that they have a sheet filled up for the sponsoring tracker. Hi, Denise. All right, anybody fill out a sheet? You have to show your camera, raise your hand. You got to type in the chat box if you did, okay? All right, ladies. I'm gonna charge you, and gentlemen, I'm gonna charge you. That's your number 1 goal. You've got to keep filling those tracking sheets out to reach goals, okay? So work with your manager, please, every week to talk about where you can go along your day, making your list of who you're going to call, what you're going to say, so that you make sure you stay on target to your goals, because it's those daily behaviors that will get you to the end result. It doesn't happen because you want it. It happens because you're willing to work to get it, okay? So absolutely keep yourself onto those tracker sheets. They're very, very, very important, okay? All right, I'm going back to screen, and then I'm going to come back. We're going to do a little bit of share time. So let me show you another tool that we use. So bear with me here, because now we're going to have some interaction. Oh, sorry, I goofed on that little guy. Let me get myself right on back. Okay. So we had a focus. I don't need to really review a whole lot of this, but remember, we're on day 21. You have 10 days left of this month. Whether you're here as a leader, whether you're here as a future leader, 10 days left. Are you on track to earn the income you decided to earn this month? Are you on track to hit your sponsoring goals, to earn all these great prizes, like the beautiful Becker tote? Oh my gosh, it's ginormous. And the beautiful, I think it's packed in my suitcase still, the beautiful wallet that matches it, as well as the $100 bill. We're talking the high five challenge. You have your 500, you sponsor 4 people who are in their first 500 retail this month and or into next month, and you can earn the best income and have consultants off to a great start, putting money in their pocket, or paying their business back, and most importantly, again, they're on track for fast start. So it's what's in it for them and what's in it for you. Focus 500, all right? So make sure you have 10 days ahead that you decide, am I earning the tote and the wallet and the cash? And if so, what do I have to do to get there by the end of August? Because it's sponsoring and getting them off to a strong start. You have to plan to succeed. We gave you all a challenge for those of you that are here as freedom makers to do 4+4 in August. Hold 4 parties. I heard Dustin's holding a great party. That's awesome. And to have 4 new team members. I gave you that challenge for all the freedom makers to do that this month. We'll find out at the end of August who achieved that. Or you had plan B, to hold at least 2 parties this month with 2 new sponsors and 2 next month with 2 new sponsors. So this will be our challenge at the end, that we have a gift for every person who did 4+4 or 2+2. All right, so we're gonna have fun with that. So please make sure you're tracking that on your weekly tracker. Speaking of the weekly tracker, here we go. We're going to talk about some of these questions that are on your weekly review sheet. This is what you want to make sure you block 15 minutes a week to talk to your manager every week. You can come on here and hear from each other, but the purpose of this is you're all sharing with each other, and then you work with your manager to set up your goals and be accountable to what happened or didn't happen last week. Okay? So here we go. So as we look at this review sheet, here's the questions we're going to network together on, all right? So freedom makers, we're going to ask you first, and then if I don't hear from you, I'm going to ask the leaders to share, okay? Because they also have the same results happening with them. So I want you to think about, what was the best thing that happened in your business last week? And if you haven't filled this out for your appointment with your leader, write it down right now for yourself. Okay, or make a mental note. Then what challenges did you experience? Then, again, just think about it all, what went well. Overall, there's good things that happen every single week, and you got to spotlight those and then look at the opportunities to change. And then what do you need to do differently to stay on target to your goals this week? Because if you didn't hit your goals last week, something's got to be different this week. And you got to catch up. The goals didn't change, but something took away your time from getting the results you wanted. Okay, so what has to be different? And then what plans do you have? Because we're going to break it down every single day. So do you have thoughts in your mind of what you're going to do to rally this final full week of August? Okay? All right, now we're going to share. I'm done. Let me come back here for a moment. I'm going to get out of my screen. All right. So we're going to open this up first to all of the freedom makers. So freedom makers, what went well last week, or what was something great about your business last week? Who's got to share? Go, Sandra. Thank you.
Okay, well, this is just kind of funny because many of us on our teams know how much trouble I have with technology. And so I was trying to put some of the Facebook pages from our birthday brochure that Lori downloads for us onto my Jafra business Facebook page. And for some reason, it went on my regular page, and just the one. But I got like 2 people that called and said, hey, you know, can I order? How do I order? Do we need a new brochure, or can I order from this last brochure you gave me? And it was really kind of exciting. One girl also said, will you call my sister? She lives in Oklahoma, and ask her. She's interested in Jafra. So that was kind of good. I was frustrated that I still didn't have that whole Facebook thing right, but it really turned out to be good in the end, that the mistake happened. So
that's awesome. Hey, you posted. That was good, right?
Yeah.
So you learned how to do it. We just happened to hop onto the wrong page, but not really. It was intentional mistakes that turned into a wonderful opportunity for them and you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that. Cool. Thank you for sharing. All right. Freedom Makers, anyone else have something that they felt well about last week that went well, or something? What was a great thing? Go ahead, Esther. Thank you. Oh, we don't hear you, Esther.
You are unmuted, so we're not sure why we're not hearing you.
We lost her. Okay. Anyone else? Carol, Denise, Darlene, Angie, Hurley. Anyone else out there want to share? Dustin, anybody? Dustin had bookings, obviously, right?
Okay, I'll share.
Dustin, thank you.
Yay! So I watched the spa party. I guess it was one of the Mondays, and it was the spa party that y'all did. And it really kind of got me pumped up because I used to do parties with Avon years ago. I did Avon probably about 10 years ago. I was a beauty advisor before they got rid of all that. And so I remember I did those, and I know the holidays are coming up. So I was like, you know what? You know, you hear all this stuff about social marketing, and, you know, you got to jump in, and you get all the hype and you do it, but no one ever really jumps in. And I didn't jump in right in the beginning when I started in April. So I decided this month I have the time, I'm just jumping in. And so I jumped in and I put it on Facebook and I let some people know. And I've already had 3 people reserved, one reserved, but she had to pull out because she has got an emergency she's got to do Thursday. So I had to replace that. But someone called me today and said, I'm bringing a friend. So she's excited. So I have 4 people coming. And then I'm talking to a girl right now. That's why I've been kind of in and out of the video. I'm talking to a girl. She's supposed to be signing up tonight as a consultant. If not, sometime this week. Carla and I have got her a package together and sent her a couple of samples. So hopefully I'll have my first team member this week. And then more after my party on Thursday. So I'm excited.
That's
Everything's
awesome.
going
Okay.
good so far.
Tell us.
I have business cards on the way. They're going to be here soon. And I'm pumped. Also,
I can feel it. I love it.
One more thing. Last week, I went to UTMB. It was their student welcome, and I went for the church, but I also brought some Jafra stuff, and I reached probably about 4 or 5 girls. I've got one girl calling for some scar balm in a couple of days, and just a bunch of stuff. So I'm reaching out, and I'm painting it purple already.
I love
I'm
it.
excited.
I
I'm
love
pumped.
it. Okay, wait though. So we're gonna pick your brain a little bit. So you saw the spot party, you're like, that's it, I'm gonna rock and roll. What were some of the words, or what were some of the things you said? Because I love your verbiage, like, oh, I've got to reserve for this, I've got to reserve for that. So I'm all about reserve a seat, right? So what did you say? And are you the one hosting them and they're saving a seat at your party? Awesome. Okay. Well,
Jackie?
Yeah.
I think we lost him there in all of this. He's decided what he's going to do is have a weekly party at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're booking the reservation to come to his house. So they're giving him the confirmed answer instead of it being, well, I have this every week at my house. They're going to be there for him at his house because they've reserved a spot and he's only got a certain number of places available.
Love that, of course. Oh my gosh, that is, whenever you're stuck, if you have the option, there he is. If you have the option, host it at your own place and take reserved seating. I love that. So how did you launch the first, like, okay, I'm hosting spa parties? Was there anything you said about that, Dustin?
Anything in particular?
Yeah, was there, like, what was your post like, or how did you reach it?
I had to go over and look, but what I put is I said, come enjoy a therapeutic evening. Come relax and enjoy a therapeutic evening and enjoy all the benefits of Jaffa Spa, the Jaffa Foot Spa regimen. And so, and I don't remember exactly what I said, and I'll post it in here. I'll go check in a little bit, but it was something like that. And I said, reserved today. I have a couple of seats left or whatever. And so, and I told them what time. And then a lot of these people are people I go to church with. So I told them face to face as well. And I messaged the invitation to certain people also. So, but that's what I'm going to try to do is every Thursday, just do it consistent, but only save, 3 to 4, maybe 5 seatings. So, and then privately invite them because it's more personable for me, I would think. So instead of just posting on Facebook, hey, I'm having a party, because people look over that. But when it's personable, and they're personally invited, because I let them know, look, I have a couple of seats open, or I have a couple of seats, or I'm inviting 4 or 5 people. I think that's what I said in one of them. I'm inviting 4 or 5 people. I have 2 seats left. I kind of a little white lie because I had 3 that were kind of so-sos, but at that moment it was still 2 seats left, So, but I still have 2 seats left, and they're like, okay, book me and my friend, and that's how I got my last 2. So it's just
awesome.
golden tongue, the golden tongue.
I love that. And I will challenge you all, host your own. I know Dustin's doing it at his place. If you don't have that, not everybody does, right? So if you don't have that within your own home, that it's a comfortable environment or space or whatever that is, find a place, right? If you're out of space, you got to find a place. That's all I can say to you. It's easier to get the ball rolling and start your own parties for 4 to 8 weeks in a row. And then once they're there, they fall in love with the products. They have the opportunity now to see how they could do the business because they saw the real model. And they're more apt to give you referrals, bring people with next time because they want to come back, as well as it's the perfect way for them to be able, I'm going to just mute you here quick because I think Justin, was it Justin? No? I can't tell either. Yep, there's a little sound in your camera there for some reason, Dustin. So, but again, having your own place, like Lori and her team in Oregon, they've rented a breakfast place at the Best Western. So they've got a breakfast room. So find a place. Just keep looking. I promise you there's a place out there if it's not in your home. But it's easier to get that started so they can book their parties from there, join the business from there, bring friends there. And it gives you 8 weeks of good practice, right? So the more you do that, you're really in training. You're set up to know every week you have a training. I love the tip, private messaging. It's a personal invitation. That's very smart. So very good. So great job. Thank you for sharing. I've got a couple of shares I want to read out loud. We've got as well Esther, who is trying to share with us. She has a new consultant plus another one planning to sign up. And she's already $1,000 out in orders already as of last night. And she's increasing all of her sales online. So Esther, bravo, you've got your momentum. I know you've been through a lot in the last month or 2, but you are right there. So way to stay dedicated to your goals. That's fabulous. And way to track it and keep breaking it down. So good for you. We also have Darlene, who's with us. Miss Darlene Ross. She's sharing that her presentation to the chamber was great last Wednesday. A young lady wants her to make a presentation to the young ladies at the youth group, or work source, on becoming a Jaffa business owner. So I love that approach. You get to go in and talk to them about being their own business owners. So great job. That's excellent. So be looking, what's going on in my community? Where can I get involved with? What groups do I know people from? Just like Dustin, he knows people from church. So he's focusing on that group right now. So think about where you're going, what you're doing, and how that's leading you to get in front of people, to play with the product. And I love Dustin's whole approach, saying the word therapeutic foot spa regimen. And I know he asked the question earlier, And I looked at the offer in the book. And if you think about it, what I loved that he's doing, he's literally taking one specific offer in the book, and he's focusing on that as his quote unquote, basically spa treatment of the week, right? So when you look at that, those 2 pages, you're looking at page 50 and 51, just having those 3 products alone, you're teaching 3 steps in regimens for hand and feet. So if you think about it, you've got 2 different duets you can sell together, right? And you know what's really cool about it? The price is $61, like the anniversary. Ding! I'm just saying. I'm all about creativity. So if you look at this, when they have both, it's the magic $61 order. And they get the foot scrub and the 2 nail lacquers to go with it for free, right? So what a perfect hand and foot fall and winter regimen. It also makes a wonderful couples system to use at home. So again, you're teaching, you know what's so smart? He's teaching a regimen. That's all we do. We don't sell. We teach regimens for at-home spa therapy. I don't know about y'all, but I take a spa bath every day. So I learned how to do that from Jafra, and every day I deserve that. That's my me time. So you're teaching them how to do that, right? So if you look at your 3 steps, you've got polish, protect, and repair. So you're just teaching. So I love, think about what he's doing. Again, that therapeutic foot spa regimen. Come have a seat I've got a seat reserved for you. I love, love, love that. So very, very cool. All right. Anyone else want to share as a leader, as a future leader, anything else great that happened in your business last week?
Justin, you got your hand raised. Did you want to add something, or was that just a...
No, accident.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
That's all good.
Okay.
Hi.
Anyone else? Linda.
Yes. I was inspired, like Dustin, to do spa again. And I was inspired by Rhonda and Marie Menard a few weeks back. So I did one on Tuesday night, and there were 11 people there. A lot of them were older women, you know, like old ladies, but they were so cute. They loved it. I did bring a new consultant and told her she didn't have to do anything but participate, because I wanted her to know what it felt like to be in the spa chair, so that she would go and hopefully sponsor or schedule some spa parties herself. But the best part about it, I had some sales, but the best part is I scheduled 2 parties. And I'm so excited. Yes. And then I have another. But that was the best part. And I realized, and this is a good, to me, it's a good bit of advice that I learned years ago. When you go to do a party, success is not just in the sales. Your success is if you have a business, if you sponsored or scheduled parties and had sales. So if you go looking for one or all of each of those categories, you're always going to feel like you did a good job. So it was a really good week. And I have another big party on Saturday. So I'm back to doing parties, and I feel the same way that Lisa Washington felt. Spa parties are easy. They're just easy. People go away feeling good. And she's right. You sell other items. I sold skincare and spa at that party. So I was very excited.
Welcome back to partying.
Yes.
It really is. If you're bored and you're not having fun, you got to start partying. I'm not kidding. There is nothing like it. Getting people together who just talk each other into the awesome product, and they get a little spa escape, right? So really give them that break from life. Shut their phones off. Turn some spa music on. Put some marbles in the tub. Have some fun, right? Let them escape and teach them how to do this at home. It will make a difference. I know you all might remember this fact, but I remember when I used to do spa parties, and it's a fact, it's not a lie. University of Minnesota had come out with this study that if you just take 1 bubble bath a week, you will increase your mental stability by 60%.
Whoa.
Like everybody needs to be a little more mentally stable sometimes, right? So I have to do it daily because you know what? I got the US. That's how it is. I'm kidding. But that's just me. It's my downtime. It's my me time. But again, you're just, you're teaching them recipes. And the product will sell itself. Don't worry about that. So I love that whole party approach. Have some fun. When in doubt, get some on your books yourself. My goodness, do 3 on Saturday if you're 3 weeks behind. Do 1 at 9, 1 at 1, and 1 at 4, and you've got your month caught up. So the key is you've got to do it, not keep waiting for it to happen, because it is the funnest way to do business. So thank you for sharing, Linda. Okay, I'm going to ask one more question, then we're going to rock and roll again. All right. So did anybody have any challenges last week that kind of blocked their goal from happening? Everybody had a perfect week and they hit all their goals? Okay.
Okay, nobody's going to say anything, so I'll go.
Thank you.
I'll take one for the team. You can all pay me later. So I do my weekly meeting with my group. And for the second week in a row, only one of my new girls showed up for the whole night. Nobody came. And so that's like, it's part of the growing process. It's only our second one. And I told them both, because it was weird. It was both of them were separately came by themselves. And so they had all this one-on-one time with me. We made samples up. I trained them. It was actually really good. But it was a process of explaining to them like how to change that from being a negative to a positive. So it's not bad that no one showed up. It's just, we need to do better advertising. My week was insane, so I didn't get out and invite. So that's my bad, and they're brand new, so they don't get that yet. So, but the one girl was like, well, where is everybody? It's like, well, it's your night. We just get to, and then she had to bring her 4-month-old. So, it all worked out. So we were able to really spend time together. But it was even my mental shift of like, okay, this was not a good week. It's not what I wanted for this meeting. But how can we be positive about this? How can we look forward? How can we make this work for us and be a positive use of our time? So that was my kind of mental shift, but it was frustrating because, you have those days when like, this is what I wanted. I wanted a packed house, and then it just, a bunch of people canceled on us and it just worked out that way. So, so it was negative, but, we just used it for training and starting over again this week.
That is such a true point. You'll probably even have hostesses do this to you. Well, I only have one person coming, so why don't we rebook? The chances of that happening, just say, oh my gosh, great. Let's call her quick. Have her grab a couple of friends. That's great. Keep working on it. If you got a couple more, great. If it's just you and her, sometimes those end up being the very best nights. They get more one-on-one, advice. You get to build some friendships in a smaller way. So never, ever, ever cancel, and don't beat yourself up. Whoever is in front of you, if you ever say, well, I wonder where everybody is, don't ever say that, ever. It's always about who's ever in front of you. They're supposed to be there. They took the time to be there. They deserve queen bee at the spa treatment even more, right? And just value that. So it's true. It's just to say, gosh, I just so appreciate you being here. And I just value that. We even get to have more fun together tonight and actually do the foot soak with her. Just play with her. I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? So that is a perfect obstacle that can make us take that and flip it. So that's the purpose of always looking at what was really good, but what wasn't so good and how did we handle it? Because you're going to have this in business. It doesn't matter. I've owned 4 other businesses. It didn't matter. There's always good and there's always obstacles to learn. Just like the obstacle Sandra had, trying to figure out Facebook, probably frustrating, saying some naughty words, trying to figure it out, and then she posted wrong. But guess what? It wasn't wrong for those who found you, right? It wasn't wrong for the person who showed up for Lori that night, right? So make it always about them. So that, I love that. So thank you for sharing that. So I also love this too. Esther, she did a bridal facial as well. I love that. That's so cool. And I love what Justin wrote in here in case you're not able to see the chat here. He presents himself as a beauty or skincare advisor. It's the approach to offer a service. My favorite part about that is you don't sell. Please don't sell, please serve. You serve people as a spa beauty consultant, whatever you want to call that, advisor. You create who you are, but you're an independent consultant who consults people. Consulting means you tell me your needs and I find your solution, right? So that's consulting. Selling is just, here, buy this, right? That is not what this is. It's really to say, what can I help you look and feel better with these 700 products in 4 departments? Or do you want to take a look at what the business could be for you first? What do you need more of, right? So it's really a matter of their needs. So I love that you said that. That is so true, because that's how they trust you. The brand is you, not Jeffra. So it's you saying, who do I want to be as a business owner? I used to say this. What do I want my clients to say when their Jafra order shows up at their office? What are they going to say? Oh my gosh. Oh, let me tell you about my Jafra consultant. I love her because I think he's amazing because this is what he does for me, right? That's what you want. That's your reputation. That's your brand. Just like you go to a 5-star hotel. What would they say on Yelp about their service with you as a client or as a consultant? I used to always have this in my mind when I would go to parties. What do I want them to say in their cubicles tomorrow morning about the party? Because you know they're talking about, hey, I'm going to this Jafra party tomorrow night, right? So one, I made sure the hostess knew how to tell them what was going to happen at the party. Because I wanted them, like Dustin's words, to say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to this therapeutic foot spa regimen party or foot spa party. Can't wait. So excited. I got a seat, right? Versus, I don't know, my friend's having this Jafra thing. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what Jafar is, right? So, and then when you do the party, what do you want them to leave behind? Was it laughter? Was it fun? Was there a hot tip? Like everybody in my spa parties remembered the 60% of mental stability. Because we started the party talking about how many of you are mentally stable. Not many. So the whole night became about that. You know, even teaching how to file your nails. One main thing that the next day they don't stop talking about. And so it's that whole experience that makes the difference. That's that trust and respect. Even you as your sponsor, how well you believe in your team and support them. You don't ever have to force your team to sell or sponsor. They own their own business. They decide what they want, right? Your goal is to believe in them, follow up to what their goals are, and be there for them along the way, doing it with them, okay? So, love, love, love it. Oh gosh, there's just so many great comments. You guys are great tonight. I appreciate that. But that's where these questions with your manager really help. That's why doing this every week help you and her learn a little bit about little things you're doing each week that are positive and possible turnarounds to opportunities. Okay, so let me take myself back to the screen. We're not going to share a whole lot more of the screen, but I wanted to just review a couple of things. Bear with me here, my mouse. Still learning my new mouse on my laptop. All right, bear with me here. It is one touchy mouse, let me tell you. Okay, here we go. All right, back to our screen here, and we're back. Okay, so purpose of coming back here, we're going to start where we left off. All right, so the next piece is I just want you to do this test each week. Leaders and future leaders. The entire time we're together, I will talk about IPAs. You've heard them called income producing activities. I believe they are called influencing people activities. The more people you meet, talk to, sit in front of is what really changes. So I say, look at this chart every week. This is you deciding how the boss worked last week. When you look at office activities and then you look at people activities, do this just for you, okay? What percentage of time last week went into people activities and what percentage went into office? Because people activities build this business. Were you out meeting new people, painting it purple like Dustin talked about? Were you doing it with other people so you were never alone and you were building your team? Were you sharing the products by booking parties, contacting your clients, giving samples and brochures? Were you calling and talking and sponsoring to people? Were you doing facials with bridals, speaking at events? Were you out again working with your consultants that you have sponsored with your manager, okay, if that's what you're doing until you get comfortable working with your team? This is a really good scale because you want to see yourself doing at least 80% of your time with people, okay? Doing the back office things you can do early in the morning when no one's awake, or late at night when everybody's sleeping and you're still awake. That's how Lori and I operate. We do both. I've trained her to do a little bit of the morning. I force her. But think about those are things you can do on the back side. But again, you use people connections on the most important hours or minutes that you have to run your business each day. Okay, so a couple of key things. So next, I wanted to share a couple of, well, let me go forward. I wanted to share a couple of things about how people make money in direct sales. Leaders, I'll tell you more of this tomorrow on our coaching calls. I'll show you a couple stats. But I think for all of you building your teams right now, I think these are some things you might want to know. I didn't put them on the screen, so bear with me as we sort of just listen. Because you have 10 days ahead of you. Plan the success of your August, the first month of our 2-month anniversary season, August and September. The key thing is whether you mapped out your 4-week plan or you're starting right now to map out your 10-day plan, you still map it out. If there's 10 days and you're still reaching goals, how much for the next 10 days do you need in personal sales to achieve your income, team goals, whatever that be? So personal sales and team sales, the first 2 columns. So what do you need to do in the next 10 days? Then you're going to look at how many of those days are you working. If you're only working 8 out of the 10 days or 5 out of the 10 days, then you've got to take your goals and divide them by 5. Okay? What you do in those days have to be bitten down into bite-sized chews. How many sponsors do you want by the end of August? Are you going for the $100 bill and the tote and the wallet? Then you need 3. Then you have to put, okay, my first sponsor will be done on the 24th, then the 27th, and my third one will be done on the 30th. You've got to give yourself goals because if you don't see it, you can't imagine it. If you don't plan it, you are going to have more obstacles than success. I promise you that. And then you're going to get stuck doing busy stuff because you didn't make a business plan, okay? We've all done it. Those are obstacles we're all going to keep seeing. But we've got to be in control of it to achieve our goals. So what are your sales goals? What are your sponsoring goals for you and your team? Then you start to break that down. Will I be hosting a personal, a facial? Will I be hosting a party? Where are those big rocks? And how many more people do I have to talk to get to my goal? And do I have a marketing plan? Do I need a tabletop somewhere really quick? And then you track it for the next 10 days, okay? So this is key. 10 days of planning, we're no longer going to do 4 weeks. Whether you're doing 4 + 4, 2 + 2, you're qualifying in August, qualifying in September, just like you saw tonight, Esther's already tracking it down. Okay, here's where we're at. Here's what's happening. So those are the key things you want to be in control of right now. Make sure tomorrow morning when you wake up, you've got this plan in place with your manager, okay? And map it out and be in control. A couple of top notes here, and then I'll come back to some factoids for you. It's birthday. This is what is the reason to hurry and invite people. I love the $19 kit and the birthday pack. It's only this month. This is who I would prioritize with, because if they don't have the $265 to buy the birthday pack, I need to have them come to my party at Dustin's house on Thursday night with their few clients and join us so they can earn the $265 to buy that pack alongside their $19 kit, right? So the priority is going to be this is running quick and they need time to get to their $500 for you to get the gift. But I think this pack is the smartest thing they could ever buy. And it's over $500 retail. They will have nothing better than all these products in their kit when they join this month. And this is ending. So I always go, what's ending the fastest? That's my first priority. Okay? So that's a big deal. All right, sorry, we don't need that. So then you've got to block your calendar to the biggest rocks first. In those 10 days, you have meetings that you can attend and bring people to with your manager. Or could you set your own up on Zoom? Do you have parties on your books, or do you want to set up your own, like Linda's kicking off, like you're hearing Dustin do? Do you need some facials like you heard Esther talk about? Great. Who can you fit in and pamper? Where and when do you fit those in? And then ordering again. Look at all the offers in that book. What's some of your favorite offers that you got to call because these are ending? And then break those down, all right? So we're planning your calendar for the next 10 days. Do that with your manager, please. If you need to meet enough people because you don't have enough people to plug into those big rocks, then you've got to go out intentionally every day and talk to people. Remember the numbers. They don't change. If you need to sponsor 3 people this month, you need to talk to 30 people on your warm list, on a cold list going out and about. It's making sure you've got enough people to talk to see what needs they have. Do they have a need for a business this fall and holiday season for more income and a change in their life? Or do they have a need for some of these great products or just a little at your spa? So what do they need? And let's fill it. They get to choose. And then again, you just have to talk to enough people. So if 30 is divided in the next 10 days, how many is that a day? 3. And maybe a day's already gone, so it might be almost 4 if you didn't do it today, okay? That's where that tracker helps you say, okay, I filled out a sheet. I filled out a sheet. Dustin's going to have 5 people at his table tomorrow or Thursday night. There's 5 right there. Boom. Awesome. Okay? So again, you've got to make a plan. So we always start with that memory jogger. So the tools that are on Facebook, again, these are the tools you always work with when you're making a plan with your leader. Okay? Again, you're going through your warm list because trust me, most people know 200-300 people to invite to a wedding, right? Or 100 that are connected to another, 200-300. Or on Facebook when you're messaging, like you're hearing Justin do. That's awesome because they're connected to people. Watch their people's lives and message them. 2 towns over. Hey, I see you live 2 towns over. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so pay attention. But again, this is your warm list. Make sure you've got that list always with you. And then you're always thinking about people everywhere you go. You're watching them, complimenting them, and then inviting them somewhere. Have a place to invite them every few days, if not at least weekly, like you're hearing Justin say, because then they have reserved seating. So we keep talking about that. You're not going to see this change. So I want to just give you a couple of facts before we close with this little engaging session. Okay. So first and foremost, there was a survey done, or there was the Direct Selling Association did an overview of what happened in the year 2016 as compared to 2015. I want you to hear about the industry you're in. Here's a couple of things I want you to be really proud of. Direct selling right now has 20.5 million people in it. It's huge. Matter of fact, it grew in 2016. The sales volume was the second largest in 2016 in direct sales history. After the year 2015 was number 1. There's a pattern happening, people. So it's going up and up, and more people are looking. I want you to know as you sponsor people, don't get picky. If you pause and say, I'm only putting people on my team that want to build a business, they don't know till they're in. They have no idea. I think Dustin even said, I joined in April, I just never got started. I'm ready. When they're ready, they've got a business ready built. But I want to tell you about this. There's 5.3 out of the 20.5 that build the business, 25%. So if you're going to sponsor 4, 1 in 4 end up building that business. So just like Lori was like, oh my gosh, no one showed up. You might get this wall that you go, oh my gosh, yeah, I sponsored and no one's doing anything. Is that going to happen? Yes, it will. Because the reality is 800,000 out of the 20 million are working full-time at their business. That's only 4%. You're going to see 22% work part-time to make that extra income of $300 to $500 a month. 74% enjoy getting a discount. They love your product. I'm not telling you to go out and just sponsor every single person for wholesale privileges the rest of your life. But we have a great business. The key is we have the best product. If I took the whole screen right now and I said, how many of you joined only because of the product? You did not want to do anything. I've done this for 17 years as a sales manager, and I will tell you, 85% of the room goes up. They joined only to get the product because they tried it. They saw their face change and said, I'm in like Flynn. And then their needs changed. So remember to invite every person to have the privilege of these amazing products in the way that they want them. But once they're in and they at least get started with maybe a starter party or coming to your parties, like Linda said and Lori was talking about, you're going to see that suddenly they might have a need at that time. Or a few months later, it's their time. Or even a few years. So remember, that is okay to at least keep building your team. But here's the key. You never arrive with 4 sponsors. You keep adding 4 more, 4 more, 4 more. Because by the time you get to 12, 13, 15, 16 people, you're going to have someone who's building the business just like you alongside you. That's the beauty of it. So this industry is growing. I wanted to give you one more factoid because this might help you think about where do I want to go meet people. 8% of the people in direct sales are less than 25 years old. 8%. 21% are between the ages of 25 to 34. 26% between 35 and 44. 23% between 44 to 54. Here's your key ages. 25 to 54 actually take 20, 40, 60, 70% of the direct sellers today. All right? So you're in a $35 billion industry. And the beauty of this is that those are the key ages joining, and it's increasing. You're on a positive growth in businesses today, which we're not seeing, right? Many are shutting down. JCPenney's, right? Sears, they're all changing. Here's the key the last thing I wanted to say, because we all talked about this. The reality is that 72% of the sales produced are done by person-to-person people servicing, not online. It's person-to-person, having that connection in a facial, sitting down and talking to them, sitting on a Zoom and having conversations and they're trying product. It's literally at parties. The difference is parties are about 21%. 72% is more one-on-one relationship or small group. Parties are 21% of the business. You add that up, that's 93% of the, 93% of the business is seeing people. Remember I said the people activities? Now you see it. 7% is other, collecting orders online, things like that. So it's really important to see the people. So I hope you grabbed a factoid out of some of that to kind of show you about people today in direct sales. So we're going to do a little bit of fun. And we're going to kind of interact again, and then we'll close out for the night. I want you to think about, what do we think are the top 5 reasons people say no to joining the business? So write down what you think stops people, because when you know what their objection is and you're prepared, you will be able to take any objection and not have that deer in the headlights. I don't know what to say, right? So think about, what do you think, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. What do you think are the top 5 reasons you get no to the business? All right, anybody want to share? Raise your hand or unmute yourself. Go for it. Anything. And anybody can share, leaders or future leaders. Time. Absolutely. How many of you think that's one of the top? It will always be time. Okay, very cool. How do we overcome the time objection? What do we say or do?
Well, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Sandra.
Okay. Well, you know, what we need to be saying and doing is that you can work this business into your own schedule. And I liked what Scott said earlier today about fit it into the nooks and crannies of your life. And because it is about meeting and serving people, that's something that you're only gonna see people if you're busy doing stuff. You know, if you all of a sudden at home and you have all the time in the world and you're just sitting there, you're not going to see any people. So that's,
you kind of actually handled 2 objections there. One is I'm too busy, right?
Yeah.
And another one is they say time. Believe it or not, it's like they're kind of 2 opposites in the same answer. So you're exactly right. So the key is, well, if you're busy, that's the kind of people who really, the truth is, that is the people who succeed because they're exposed to a lot of people. And really, sharing and direct selling is just sharing our services of amazing products and opportunity with people. So if you're exposed to people, you've got a business that can go right alongside your schedule and you can show it, you know, anywhere you go. So love that. Very cool. All right. Anyone else? Carol, were you trying to share something there? Carol A?
Well, what I was saying, it was a little bit different from where I started, but they were saying, I was saying it would be flexible, that would be what I would say, that you can't say that you couldn't do it time-wise because you can delegate what time you want to put in, even if you have to stay up late at night and do it, but you could do it if you wanted to.
Exactly. That's the purpose of doing it. If you don't have time, is because you get to make your own time. That's the joy and why people love direct sales today, why it's growing. They do have less time, but they're able to do it on those off times, like we just shared. They can do some Facebook and additional sales along their way, and even online in the wee hours of their morning. And today, your 24/7 websites, client direct, it takes less of your time because the business can actually self-manage itself like Stay Royal, right? So again, we've got the tools that help you work less and make more when you're smart directing your clients using the tools that make you more money. So that's a really good twist to that as well. So again, the key is there's one other way you can do this, and that is ask a question after a question. When someone says, I don't have any time, how much time do you think it takes? Or if they say, you know, people in direct sales don't make any money. I think Esther was typing that. Okay, so how much money do you think you could make in direct sales? How much time do you think it really takes, right? I don't have any money to get started. How much money do you think it costs to get started? She might have just came from LuLaRoe, that is $6,000. So pause a moment and ask a question. Your average in Rodan and Fields is almost $3,000. We don't know what they know, right? So the key is sometimes pause, tell me what you think. But the reason I wanted to start these objections is I don't know, how many of you sometimes get afraid to talk about it because you don't know what you're going to say if they ask you those questions? Anybody ever felt that way? What I love, and I'm not going to read them to you, but the best tool, I am a tool user. I will not ever be without a toolkit. This is the sponsoring brochure that's online. And the top 5 objections, let's see if you had them written down. Esther, you did really, really well. I don't have enough money. You know what? I partner with my consultants when they get started with their launch party, their welcome party, and that first party helps you get everything you need to set your business up for success. We co-share the profit, or whatever you do with it, it's up to you. But it's a great way to help you get started and, again, help you invest in your business. And you can almost start for free when we get your first party in your first week. So let's get you started. What if we could do that? Would you still be interested on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm a 5. Great. What would it make to make you to make you a 10? So you can start to ask questions. Ask again. Different ways. But not enough money, not enough time. I need to really think it over. I don't know about committing to something this big. Okay, they're scared. I don't know enough people, not a salesperson. So all of the answers are here. These are good things to prepare to go meet with someone. What do I pack? How do I keep it simple like Lisa taught us tonight? And review this before you go and practice, because it shows you what you need. It's online in Beautiful and in downloadable files at Jaffer Biz Consultant Connection. So again, this is fun. Keep practicing. We're going to pick a couple each week because you want to feel really confident with bookings and with sponsoring. And we're going to keep working on that together. We'll come back again next week and cover a couple. But let me go to my wrap up. Our time is up. Our Empower Hour is almost over here. So let me take myself back to my screen. Sorry here. Let me get my box out of the way here. Sorry. Forgive me. All right. So I don't think you see my screen, do you? That's me. So sorry. My bad. So let me just wrap this up. Let me go back right here for you. And we're going to finish. And here again were those top 5. So you can see money, time. Let me think it over. I don't know people. I'm not a salesperson. So this part of your homework, kind of practice that dialogue. If someone said that to me, and this could even be about booking a party as much as it is sponsoring. Take those top 5 and practice that. Work with your manager. Work with one of your peer partners. If you've got a consultant or a leader that you like to network with, these are some good homework exercises because confidence exudes when you know how to handle objections. The only way you're going to get better at them is practicing. So the more they give you objections, the better. They're really just those little obstacles like we started with tonight that help you get better and better. But when in doubt, pause and ask the question back. What is it you need to think over? How many people would you invite if you were having a wedding today? How many friends do you have on Facebook? Okay, so other thing is make sure as we get ready for Painting at Purple launch next week, we're going to do how to get ready with your captains and get ready with that week. Remember to watch training week number 2 on prospecting. And we'll come back again next week after the Paint It Purple time, and we'll be brainstorming together with all of us on ways to keep prospecting. We're going to come in with sharing. Okay, I already did training, so we're going to share. The key is as you go this week, when you look at your calendar and closing up how to block out 10 days of success, where are you going this week? You're going to work from your memory jogger, right? And plan to meet people along your way every day, or maybe you can get a tabletop somewhere quick or speak at an event like we heard some of the sharing going on tonight from Darlene, Esther. So where is it that you can plan to meet people? Is there something you're going to at church that maybe they can let you set up a tabletop? Are you going to a chamber meeting that maybe you can share something at that meeting? Is there any place you can go and get a quick place to meet more people this week? Maybe it's a business you go to. Remember to end every conversation with who do you know that. You heard Sandra get referrals tonight from her accidental successful post on Facebook. Hey, I've got a friend down there in Oklahoma. Reach out to her. Great, that's what we're looking for. End every conversation with who do you know that. And then again along your day, you've got to stop at the grocery store. What can you bring with you to have a conversation with people and invite them somewhere in the next few days? Or invite them to do your samples this week. Be prepared every single day to know you're going to talk to 3 to 4 people every day to hit your top 10 days left to hit your goals this month. Fill out your sheets for next week And we will see what our success is next week, all right? And don't forget to register for the Belong Tour. Make sure every person you sponsor comes to that Belong Tour as well. So you can register them once they sponsor. Make sure you and your team are there, and you're going to reserve a table. Picture them all sitting at a table with you at the Belong Tour, celebrating your new team. I wanted to end with this tonight. Write down the word success. S-U-C-C-E-S-S. This is the key to where we are today for week number 3. See the goal. What is the name of your team? Are you qualifying to leader September 1st or October 1st? And some of you maybe are just joining and you're deciding the next month, which will be November 1st. That's okay too. Right now we're focused on 8 weeks breakdown, so you'll see us kind of move a little faster. But see your goal. You've got to see it and say it. You understand those obstacles. Thank you all for sharing some obstacles tonight. And you're going to get obstacles, objections, when people are being asked to join the business, book a party, etc. But understand them. Listen and answer back with maybe a question. C, create a positive mental attitude. When you look in that mirror every morning, what are you saying? Hi, Miss Manager. Can't wait to meet you on September 1st. It's going to be great at your celebration party. Talk positive, be it, and say it. Post pictures of you and your team, of your goals everywhere you go. Number 4, that C, is clear your mind of doubt. Remove the doubt. Don't be a Debbie Doubter. All right? Let's be that success consultant. That is what we're all about. Clear your mind, take some quiet time, and remove your self-doubt. E, embrace the challenge. Take the challenge to push yourself. Nothing is fun doing the same thing with the same results. Challenge yourself. Embrace it. S, stay on track. Those tracker forms do matter. You can't run a business without accountability, and success comes from tracking. Stay on track to the number of people you talk to and the results you need each and every day when you break it down. And the last S, show the world you can do it. Just say yes. Imagine the fun postings when you did it, and you get to show that all over Facebook and to your team and on Zoom. And we look forward to celebrating many of you on Zoom in our September 1st promotions and our October 1st. I want to say you're a part of something big. 61 is only going to be the best year ever because of 61 new and requalified leaders. And we're going to start breaking records, not just in the direct selling world. We're going to break the records in Jaffra, the whole U.S., and in the Amber region. So I want to just say thank you for being here live. And I didn't get to ask the question, so please forgive me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Was there someone who brought a guest to the opportunity call tonight? I did the sheet, but I didn't do the guest. Is that Esther? I see a hand waving.
She brought one. Yes.
She brought one? Esther brought one? Yes, congratulations, Esther. You will have a gift in the mail this week, so congratulations. Great job, congratulations. All right, anyone else I missed? Okay, very good. I appreciate that. So I thank you all for being here. We're going to end our recording. I will stay on if you have any other questions or comments. But thank you, Lori, for recording. Thank you, everyone, for being live. We will see you next week on Paint It Purple Captains kickoff, as well as our fragrance training, and again, Freedom Maker number 4. All right, so thank you, everybody. I'll stay on. Thank you for the recording.